Welcome to the Long Run with Joel and Christy. I'm Joel.
And I'm Christy.
What are we doing today?
Today we're going to be talking about how cheap and frugal living will look like for us in 2024.
All right, let's get to it.
All right, we want to first say thank you to Dawn from Sensible Living with Money Mom, because we kind of got the idea of doing how cheap and frugal living looks videos from her. She has got a wealth of them on her channel. We will link one of hers down in the description if you'd like to see those, if you've never seen one of them. But it's always a good way to show how different people see being cheap and frugal. So on that note, let's just note that we do not see ourselves as cheap.
Yep.
And we don't see ourselves as extremely frugal.
Right.
What we see is that we know what's important to us, and we save money in other areas so that we can have money to do those things that are really important to us. And we want to continue doing those things that we consider important. So we want to continue doing some frugal things, some things that save us money in other areas in 2024. And if you come along with us, you're going to see what those are that we plan to do. Some we're already doing, some we plan to do, or we either are preparing for the idea that we may have to do those things in 2024. So let's talk about it.
We will use a spreadsheet to inventory our freezer, refrigerator, and pantry items so that we don't duplicate.
And this is what our spreadsheet looks like, where we have our freezer inventory. And this is synced to our laptop and both of our phones. So we both have the ability to see what we have in stock in our freezer, refrigerator, and pantry. 2, we will meal plan monthly. This is something that we started, I think it was either in September or October, where we did a 1-month grocery challenge. And we actually found that we liked it. Not only was it saving us money because we were able to buy everything in bulk, but also it allowed us the opportunity to save ourselves a little time, because I don't have to meal plan every single week. As you can see in this clip that we took, that we plan monthly, and you can see how I do that. And we do go back every week just to get fresh produce, but it saves us money because the only thing that we get when we go back for fresh produce is pretty much just fresh produce. We stick to the list and we don't roam around the store when we go back weekly. So it saves us money because we're buying the bulk of our groceries once a month. We have recently done videos where we shared how we were meal planning for once a month hauls, and also how we are inventorying our refrigerator, freezer, and pantry. So if you'd like to see those, be sure to check the playlist in the description. That will have videos of us showing that.
Number 3, we will price compare between stores. That means when we go to Aldi, we have the Walmart app pulled up on our phone so we can check prices.
That's right, and it's also a good idea to be aware that if a store like Walmart or Sam's Club has a bulk size of an item that Aldi also has, that bulk size may actually be a better deal. So it's not always check 8 ounces to 8 ounces like as in cheese, but also checking, does Walmart or Sam's Club have a larger size that actually is cheaper because it's a larger size. All right, number 4, we will continue doing the math in the grocery stores. And you may be thinking, isn't that the same thing as number 3? No, it's not. By the way, I want to say we were going to record this in the grocery store, but it's the weekend before Thanksgiving, so it was really packed in there. So we came home to finish this one. But anyway, we did record some B-roll footage to show you an example of why we do the math. As you can see on these black beans, the price for the 1 pound bag is correct at 9 cents per ounce. But the other two, the 2 pound bag and the 4 pound bag, are incorrect. They've actually got them labeled as if they're $1 and something per ounce, but that should say per pound. But if you looked quickly, you might think that you would actually make a better deal if you actually got the 1 pound bag, but it'd be wrong because the percent price on the 2 pound bag is around 8 cents per ounce. But the 4 pound bag is actually only 7.7 cents per ounce. So that makes the 4 pound bag a much better deal. But if you looked at it quick, you might make that assumption that because that 4 pound bag says $1 and something per ounce, that it is way more expensive than the 1 pound bag, but that would be wrong. So we take out our calculator and we do the math and we make sure that we're getting the best deal and we don't assume that the unit cost is correct. Number 5, we will continue looking for great deals for anything that we buy in the grocery stores and online so that we can make sure that we're getting the best value in both stores and online purchases. We do use the Flip app though, or as you can see, you can bring it up on your computer as well. Again, I apologize if it's a little dark, but it's been raining for days here. But anyway, we do caution you if you use this to look for deals, is that if a store's already low price is lower than one of the deals that you're finding in the circular, this Flip won't pick that up. So Walmart or Aldi may have a lower everyday price than the sale price at a store like Publix, but it won't pick it up if it's their normal low price. So be sure to get out your app and check your prices, just like we showed you in the other 2 before, where you pull out your app and check your prices. Do that if you're looking at deal prices like this. We will also continue using things like Rakuten, Swagbucks, Ibotta, any of those that have coupon deals online. We will continue using that so that we can make sure that if we are buying anything online, we're getting the lowest price.
We'll also make phone calls and go online to see if we can reduce our monthly expenses on things like car insurance or subscriptions to streaming services, which we may actually cut out altogether if we're not using them. Also, things like your internet service, all of those things are negotiable, and sometimes they will lower your monthly expenses.
All right, and 7, we are going to continue looking for great deals so that we can travel. Travel is one of those things that we consider very important to us. Is one of the reasons why we save money in other locations. It is going to become even more important to us in 2024 to be able to travel, and that is because our son and daughter-in-law are having their first baby, so this will be our first grandchild for us. So it's going to be important for us to be able to pick up and go and visit them as much as possible. So we have done a whole video, or several videos probably, of different ways that you can save money on traveling. Anything from using browser extensions to different websites that can save you money, as well as apps on your phone like Gas Buddy that will help you find the best gas prices in the area. So we will link those in the description so that you can see some of our tips on how to save the most while traveling so that you can go and travel more often.
Number 8 is we're going to stick with the cars that we have as long as possible. Now, most of you know we drive a Honda Civic Hybrid. It's a 2008, so yeah, it's 15 years old. We've only had it for 10 of those years, but it still runs pretty good. And we do have sinking funds that we're setting up to buy new cars, but we're not going to go into debt to buy a new car. We're going to save up for it. So we're going to drive the ones we have as long as we can. Piggybacking off of that, on number 9 is that we're going to do the maintenance on our cars as much as possible by doing the work ourselves. Now, I do oil changes. I've changed spark plugs, just small repairs that I can do myself. If I don't know how to do it, I go on YouTube and try to find out how to do it. And if it looks like something I can do, then I try to attempt it. And it saved us a lot of money over the last few years. We actually replaced a hybrid battery in our car. It was going to cost us $3,000 at the dealership, but I found a battery online for $1,700, had it shipped to our house, and put it in ourselves. And that saved us about $1,300 on that repair. So we're going to do the repairs as much as we can to help save us money.
Number 10 is that we will look at the possibility of moving to a different location in 2024.
Yep.
not a different town, just a different house. For the last 2 years, our townhome landlords have increased our rent both years that we lived here. And they're not increasing it more than any other townhome in the area, so we are keeping our options open that if they try to increase the rent again this year, we will look at apartment complexes in the area, because there are some that are even closer to his work than where we live right now, but they're the same price or lower than what we're paying right now. So we are going to keep our options open and look at different locations if need be. Now, some of you may wonder why we don't just buy a house instead, but with the price of houses in the area, plus the fact that we would have to pay for an HOA, most likely there's hardly any houses in this area that is not in an HOA driven kind of, community. So on top of our mortgage, we would also have HOA fees. So for that reason, it actually does not save us anything to buy a house. It actually would cost us more monthly to do that right now. So that's not an option in our area at the moment. And so what we will look at is apartment complexes. So we won't know until April, but if you're interested in that and seeing our journey as far as that goes, be sure to subscribe to see whether or not we end up having to move in 2024.
All right, and as a bonus, we want to tell you that we do plan in 2024 to do some more side hustles like DoorDash, Uber Eats, Walmart Spark, any of those things. We did some of that this year, not a whole lot. But if we feel like we need to supplement our income or something we really want to save up for that we need a little extra money for, we'll do those side hustles.
Also, things like doing survey sites, we do a few of those. And over the last few years, I haven't been pushing them as much as I used to when we first started our debt-free journey. I may try to boost those survey sites a little bit more. They don't get you a lot of money, but they do save us usually around the holiday season. We use the money that we get from rebate sites and survey sites to save money at Christmas time on our groceries and stuff like that. So I'll probably try to push doing survey sites a little more often in the new year.
All right, so drop us a comment below and let us know what you're going to be doing for frugalness in 2024. We'd love to hear those comments below if you have any tips. All right, so we're going to put a video up right here that you can click. After we say the thing we always say, that's going to do it today. For the Long Run with Joel and Christy, I'm Joel.
And I'm Christy.
Don't forget it's the long run. Give yourself a little grace.
Bye. Much better deal if you can buy those in bulk. But
I'm not sure I understand.
I have her muted and everything.